Have any issue with Kenneth Okonkwo?
You've taken it to court. You sued him.
Welcome back to Alishaniki News, where just the hot and truth is being reviewed. Yes, thank you so much for your clicking. I really appreciate. God bless you all. So there has been another interesting development involving Peter Obi and Kenneth Okonkwo. Una no say Kenneth Okonkwo say he go cast Peter Obi. Yes, that is what Kenneth Okonkwo said. And Peter Obi now used out of anger now sued Kenneth Okonkwo 50 billion, I be 50 million. Almost it is no be small thing, no. Now, or finally, Peter Obi has come out to clarify why he sued Kenneth Okonkwo, because according to him, he said he did not sue Kenneth Okonkwo. But I want you guys to hear what he have to say. Watch to the end of this video and drop your thought on the comment section. I think I will turn this my page to political news. If I say that you guys love political news, I'll definitely start giving you guys updates. So watch to the end. Like, comment, and share. Bye.
Give Kenneth Okonkwo.
I don't have any issue with Kenneth Okonkwo.
You've taken it to court. You sued him.
No. So I sued Kenneth not because of what he's saying. He said the things he will say that will be worse. So I'm only suing him to say those things. So we cannot continue to preach what we are not. I want those who have things that Peter Obi has done wrong that will make him not to be president of Nigeria to bring it out. You know, I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic. When we go to marry, we announce in the church, if you know what will not make this man to be a good husband, come and tell them. So that's Kenneth Okonkwo saying he has information that he will release to the public, and that will be the end of Peter Obi. And that's, so you might even have some. So I want you to bring it out, because otherwise we vote people in. When they go in, we start saying, oh, they did this, they did this. This is time for everybody to come and say what Peter Obi did that is wrong. And if it's proven, I go home.
The claims that you...
Other than that, I don't have any issue.
Yeah, the claims that you kept money in safe havens as released in the Panama Papers. What are you able to still...
Panama Papers.
Yeah.
There was something, let me remember what it's called. There's nothing. It's a clear and well articulated family savings. Clear. It's documented. It's not something that is...
So the money is yours?
So it's documented.
And it's still there now in the tax haven. Safe tax haven.
There's nothing called tax haven. I opened an account while I lived in the UK and start saving for what I call family estate. If you go there every year, maybe this year, because I don't have an income, I save a portion of my income. Then when I was governor, I saved for Anambra State. So as an individual, I'm saving for my family. That's the culture we should build, but I should be encouraged. So it's nothing. You see, we go into things that are not this thing. So if some people have said, oh, maybe it shows you're corrupt, or maybe what Kenneth Okonkwo, any other person will say, so no thief sees what they can steal and leave it. That's why even when you go to church, they say, mind your phone. Not because those people didn't come to church, but because they have the temptation that if they see what they can steal, they steal it.
But it's a
yeah. And I'm happy that when I said, I'm taking it to court, he said, now that it's been taken to court, that he will now be able to disclose or bring in the open all those things he wanted to keep behind. I think Rufai, as a leader, this is time to scrutinize, avail ourselves for scrutiny by the public, so people can hear all the bad things about us, because it is important that our future leaders must be who they say they are in terms of character, in terms of integrity, in terms of competence, in terms of qualification, in terms of everything. So once he said that, I said, wait a minute, we must go further. So they can help. Because some of the things we're seeing today that the young ones are doing are examples they've learned from our leaders. So this is time to ensure that those who are coming to lead us must be people of character.
So you want Kenneth to go and expose you. That's why you're
everything. No, don't,
because he threatened that it's not a good thing.
Not just Kenneth. Yeah. Everybody should not say those things they know that is bad about me or I did that is wrong, because it's good for the system. It's good for the society. So if you know that when we were in primary school, this man was cheating, or didn't go to the primary school, didn't go to secondary school, didn't do, if you know this man had done something criminal somewhere, this is time to bring it up. We must not allow the next set of our leaders to have a record.
For most of you that have forgotten what Kenneth Okonkwo said about Peter Obi, that made Peter Obi to sue him, blah, 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 blah. I want you guys to watch this video to refresh your memory. Yeah.
Peter Obi, within 6 months, changed parties 3 times. You could recall, since he defected to NDC, I've not taken it as anything serious or anything relevant to bother myself. Because by December 30th, he was a member of Labour Party. By December 31st, he was a member of ADC. By May 3rd, he is a member of NDC. I am sure, if not for the restriction in the Electoral Act, before the close of the registration or the membership time, I'm sure he will be a member of another party. That is his nature. But let me say it. Changing parties is not what questions your capacity, your competence, or your character. It is the reason that you adduced for changing the party. Peter Obi said, I don't have a problem with David Mark, meaning he didn't have a problem with the ADC. He said, I don't have a problem with Atiku Abubakar, meaning he does not have any problem with the aspirants. Then what is the reason he gave? He said, I don't like challenges. I don't like trouble. ADC is going through challenges, legal and otherwise. And I like to run away to where there is peace, to where there is no trouble. And I now ask, how can this same man ask Nigerians to entrust Nigeria in his care when Nigeria is the most challenged country in the world today? Nigeria is both physically and mentally challenged in all capacity. Nigeria is the 4th most terrorized nation on earth. Nigeria has borrowed itself to bankruptcy. Nigeria, as I'm talking to you, the bandits tie people on the tree and put fire under them to burn them. In Kwara, in Kogi, in Niger. So how can a man who says running away from challenges be able to face the challenges we are facing in Nigeria today? I am sorry. The Peter Obi's temperament and his capacity is incompatible with the requirement of Nigeria of today. So the ADC cannot possibly be missing anything. Recall that before he came to ADC in December 31st, his political career was already dead. He was losing his polling unit in his own state by the gubernatorial candidate that he chose by himself. Recall that even when one member of the House of Assembly of Labour Party died, they fielded his widow to know whether they can get the sympathy of the people. But because of the rejection of Anambra people to Peter Obi's leadership star, they still voted against the innocent widow. So recall that before he entered ADC, his political career was already dead. So dead that he could not even enter ADC from his own state, Anambra State. He entered ADC from Enugu State, my own state, where he believed that the toxic on the toxin will not overwhelm him. So ADC actually gave him a lifeline. Peter Obi needed ADC. ADC did not need him because we were already moving on without him. So when he came into ADC with his normal toxic followers, with their own penchants of not wanting democracy at the primary level or at the secondary level. Obviously, I knew he was going to go. Let me reveal one secret to you. The first day I was consulted in this coalition, and that was before the unveiling, they asked me, so how is the possibility of ADC performing in the Southeast? I told them plainly and straight away, don't build anything on Peter Obi because he's not going to contest under ADC because he will eventually leave. Why was I so sure? Because he's a man that has morbid fear for primary election. He has never been in one and he will not be in one until he finishes his political career. He became a governor. He entered into primary election. He failed and lost to Raf Mosu in Apga. And then he still managed to find the leaders to cancel that primary, and they still gave him the ticket. That was how he became governor. And so when he gave the reason of challenges, of course, he lied, because his main reason is that he does not want to face the primary election. And let me tell you another thing, because ADC was fully prepared to convince the whole world that Peter Obi is not interested in democracy. When he came into ADC, he gave a condition that he should be allowed to produce the National Organization Secretary, National Organizing Secretary, NOS. And the reason he gave is that so that he will be the one to conduct the primary. And ADC said, fine, take. When we were doing the e-registration, Peter Obi again and his followers asked to be in charge of the e-registration. And that was why they put my sister, Aisha Yusuf, to be in charge and Obi aid, so that all the members of ADC in the primary will be determined by Peter Obi. And then Peter Obi was to organize the primary. That was why you did not hear him say, this primary is dollarized, is monetized. That's the reason I'm going. Because he was to be the one to organize the primary. Yet, he was still afraid of free and fair election. Not, of course, of zoning, because he went to even southern aspirants in order for them to step down for him. So he's a man who is afraid of free and fair primary election. So he left.